you are here. I'm grateful that you're here. Yes, actually, Deanna, once you repeat that information you just gave away again about the keynote I gave and the the stuff. They need to hear that again because that's good.
Awesome sauce. If you joined the Saturday Summit, which was absolutely amazing, Antonio T. Smith Jr. was with his peers, the other multi-million and billionaires, and they were teaching. And in Antonio's keynote, he discussed a 120-day Facebook challenge. So if you were there, you should and if you're participating, which I definitely do, because he was also teaching you how to do content creation, how to create books, podcasts, all of that. I already have my 4 topics. I've already given them to Antonio for approval because, I always want to make sure that everything aligns. He said, pick 4 topics and make sure they align with each other. And if you were listening to him, he actually taught you several different things. The first thing he taught you was you have a 4-series book. You can take each 30 days and make them a book just by pulling the audio, getting it transcribed, or transcribing it yourself. And now you have a book. Each day is a different chapter. So now you have 30 chapters. And what he also taught you was you now have 4 programs. He said the first one was free. The first one you give away for free. The second 30 days you give away for free. But the third and fourth 30 days, you put a price on it, because you want to give away as much value as absolutely possible. And with that, you can take it, like I said, you can make a book with it. And with that book, you can go back and do a workbook. Like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that's the actual book. But then they went as far as to make a personal workbook. So that way, while they're reading with it, they can go through and they can write down the notes that are important to them. So I would definitely recommend doing that. I have my 4 topics. I will be starting my 120-day challenge extremely soon. And as far as Antonio is concerned, I know he says today. So with that being said, boss man, I will have outlines for your approval, because I always want to make sure that everything I do, while I am a trainer, a speaker, trainer, coach trained and taught by Antonio T. Smith Jr., I'm also a student. So I do go to him to make sure that things are aligned with my brand and building my brand. And also because I am the CEO of the ATS companies, I always want to make sure that I'm in alignment with the company as well. So when you're doing your branding and you're partnering or doing something, you always want to make sure it aligns. But I would definitely do that 120-day challenge, guys. It will definitely change your life. And if you were on the summit, you should have received your playback email too. So that way, if you missed anything, you can always go back and watch it.
Sounds most excellent to me. I sure appreciate you. That was pretty much a sum up of what I said. You call it a 120-day Facebook challenge. I like that. I think I'm going to do that. That's not what I called it, but that's what you called it. Write this down for me. Right there, 120-day Facebook challenge, Facebook Live challenge. Write that down for me. I'm going to capitalize off that energy. I like that. I'm going to make that a big deal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here for the first time, this is my daily meeting. This happens every Monday through Fridays in my company. This is something that we do due to the economic disruption. I have decided to open it up to the public. Your job or your responsibility here is to steal everything. That's it. That's your obligation. This is the expectation. This is your learning objective, to take what we're doing and steal it because you deserve everything. Abundance is your birthright. Abundance is also freedom. You get to have that. You don't need to give me credit. You can if you want. Chris says it is guaranteed I'm stealing. My man Chris steals, and he knows I loves him to steal. I find it, I don't celebrate until I see you doing something that I have taught. Like, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's not that I am smart. I've been in business since 1996 and get beat up constantly. And since we're chasing $100 billion, we do things that a lot of people don't do. So that's what this is about. Next time you come tomorrow, you can invite your business partner, your spouse, whoever you're growing with. You are more than welcome to bring them here. I'm not worried about people sneaking in because I made it available to the public. That's that. That being said, you're going to hear me address my team, and then you're going to hear me address you too. And of course, at any time, you can ask a question of why we did this, why we did that. Today, especially, I want to tell you that the third thing on my agenda is going to piss some of you off. I was looking for a better word. My grandmother, rest her soul, doesn't like me saying that word, but I couldn't find a better word. The third thing on my agenda is really going to put you in a state of iration. You are going to become livid, some of you, or maybe all. It's not my fault. I didn't create it, but I have to address it for my company regardless, and you're going to hear me address it. And if you want to ask questions when I do address it, you're more than welcome to. And if you ask enough, I may not even be able to get past agenda number 3, because there is something happening that my company, we have to address this. And of course it is, oh, no problem, Lisa. Of course it is emotionally charged, but nevertheless, I'm not the one who created it. First thing on the agenda today is the ATS India Facebook page. Satish, Diana, this is more for you too. But what I need, we discussed it in a meeting we just had 2 hours ago. So our official day has started. Our first meeting was at 6 this morning with India. And I pretty much already broke all that down, but I'll just tell everybody that actually, no, Deanna, you tell me what I told y'all. Let's do it that way. Actually, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Grace, before you do that, Grace, ATS India page, what does that mean? What would most people do?
ATS
what does
India
that look
page.
like? Yeah, you just say Facebook. What does that look like?
A welcoming site with people from the east side of the world.
Okay, that's smart.
Um,
Of course, the name says ATS India, and that's about it, right? That's what most people would do.
Yeah.
Okay. Deanna, thank you very much, Grace. Deanna, what did I say?
The Facebook page is
It was 6 in the morning. So you took notes.
I did.
I'll give you a hint. Grace is right. That's why I told Satish get camera ready. That's part of that. Also the change. But then I said something about languages.
Oh, that one. Thank you. Okay. Not only do you want it to be an ATS, the ATS JR Companies India Facebook page, but you also want the video libraries in different languages. So once you find out where you have a following, like let's say, yes, it's ATS India, it's the ATS JR Companies in the United States, but if we have a following in Turkey, we need to translate it into Turkish. If we have a following in Italy, we need to translate it to Italian. If we have a following in Spain, we need to translate it into Spanish, because you want to be able to reach every single audience. You want every audience to be able to come to you and be able to understand your teachings as well.
No doubt. And it's more than just about reach, ladies and gentlemen, or one my team specific. And because in about 5 points, I'm coming to you and Reggie, Grace. I'm coming to YouTube, but y'all need to catch this lesson. It's not about reach. It is about end user. I'm coming back to that. That's coming back up. It's about end user. Therefore, you're going to have a Indian playlist. If you paid attention to my MeWe page, because Satish did, I have one of my videos has a Indian song on it. I forget where he says it's from. But I know I did that on purpose I have a large Indian following, and some of the hip hop stuff that I'm putting on my music is strictly for that. But not just that, go to India, shoot videos in Indian backgrounds, and then have a Punjabi, that's what it was. And then it was a Punjabi song. And also having an ATS India playlist on YouTube. So it's more than just, and then the graphics. Now, I can't cover every language. Well, I don't want to say I can't. We can do anything. The plan is not to immediately cover every language in India, like America. I know Houston has 97 different languages. That's just Houston. We can't do that, but Telugu, Hindi, and English pretty much at the top of the list, that's for sure. That is for sure. So get ready for that. So that's the last thing I'll say about that, since we covered most of it at 6 o'clock. Just know, Deanna, when do I want to get started with stuff like that?
Now.
Outstanding. And if I ask anything about getting started, the answer is always
now.
Outstanding. That is good. I like it. You are doing a fantastic job. Thing number 2 on the agenda, I'm going to share it. And this allows me to compliment Grace and Reggie as well, because they are, with their content, they're doing a fantastic job, and you're bringing awareness to some of the things that we're doing. You are able to see the coronavirus, the job carnage mount 17 million. That's Steph, right? You ever see that? Outstanding. 17 million jobs in America have been lost in the last 3 weeks. This will change Thursday. Thursday will be new numbers out. But in 3 weeks, 21 days, 17 million. To give you some perspective, 13.8 million people lost their jobs in the Great Depression. The Great Depression had 13.8 million jobs lost. Therefore, this is 17 million, 16.8 to be exact, right here, 16.8. That's the second thing on the agenda. This is not what's going to upset you, but I do want to bring it up briefly here, because it gives me a new goal. It makes me refine a goal that we have. I have and I will show it to you just for showing purposes here. Give me 1 second as I share my screen. I should be browsing incognito, but that's all right. I'm not at the moment. Now, I want to help out as much as possible. Be honest, I want to put a focus, I want to do 2 things at one time, and this is for India and America. I want to focus on giving this away. It's basically 6 courses on how to get to 6 figures, because now is the doggone time, right? You all have that link. If you don't, just, we'll do that. Just distribute that link out. And also, I want to focus on giving out, as a team, 100 free memberships to the Business University a day. That's the goal. It's a new goal. Y'all should be writing that down. That's what you should be writing down. 100 free business University memberships a day. We've been giving it out for free, but now we have a target. I haven't set a target. 100. Now, I'm not talking about individually. I'm talking about collectively. I'm not talking about per country. I'm talking about just getting that done. Okay. As a whole group, as a whole country. As a whole company. You get what I'm saying? Together, whole company together, giving that away. 100. As we get better, I'm going to push it up to a million a day. But up until then, 100 a day for everybody. Cool? Collectively. And that's the deal there. I'm going to skip the third thing for a second. I want to bring up Grace and Reggie. So I know Reggie is already producing a bunch of skits and stuff with some funny stuff, since he is hands down the funniest person in the office. There is no doubt about it. He is our resident Dave Chappelle. There is no doubt about it. His edge up is just better than Dave Chappelle's. We're going to make sure that he is doing that. I've got a bunch of them myself, but we'll do that. And I'm going to skip the third one. And I want to talk about this. I want to establish a new rule in the company. Grace, what's the number one rule in the company?
No one suffers alone?
Yep. Deanna, what's the number two rule in the company?
Stay in the plane.
Those are the only two rules in the company. Anything else is irrelevant. I'm adding a third rule. There are no rules. That's the third rule. I want to establish this. There are no rules. This is going somewhere, and it is most certainly going to apply to Reggie and Grace very heavily. There are no rules. All right? Deanna is going to certainly apply. It applies to everybody. We are already the best that I can think of that is in our arena, or whatever you want to call that, at not caring about the middle guy and going right after the customer. We're already the best at that. I can't think of anyone who is better than us. So we're already doing this at a level of 100. I want 1,000 now. So instead of 100, we're already doing a perfect 100. Probably not perfect, but you get the point. But I want to 10x that to 1,000. Basically, here's what I'm saying. Every single thing that we do, every idea, everything needs to start with the customer in mind. We already do that. The company's built that way. That's why we're so nimble. That's why we move so fast. I'm saying more. But as I sat back this weekend, I thought about a few things, from the content Reggie puts out, content Grace puts out, to the operations you do. We still accidentally let the middleman affect how we're engaging the customer. And what I want to do is I want to pretend as if there was no middleman. We don't use a middleman, but you'll see what I'm saying in a second. But I want to pretend as if there's absolutely no middleman whatsoever. Okay? Let me pause real quick. I just saw a message from Deanna said, Law asks why the change. Which change, Deanna? Which change? What did I say?
I think he may have been referring to changing the rules.
The changing the rule law? That's the one you're talking about?
No, not the rules. I was referring to the 100 free daily. Why the increase, or why the change in that?
Because 17 million people lost their job. When I was giving it out daily, it was 3 million people, and now 17 million people lost their job. So I'm trying to help out more. That's why the change. And that actually is leading to what I'm saying here. Our customers are losing their jobs, and I am responding to our customers. This is actually the point that I'm pushing here. 17 million people losing their jobs in 21 days. Now, we know it's past that now. The numbers just haven't come out yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's astronomical. That's astronomical. What I want to do, Law, what I hope all of you, so Law, you got a book coming out. Reggie, you got a book coming out and a podcast coming out. Actually, Reggie, you got multiple books coming out. If you ain't told me, the Lord has. And you have podcasts, multiple podcasts coming out. So y'all should hear what I'm saying right here. There are no rules. You're following too many rules. And I want to get rid of that. There are no rules. Here's what I mean. I mean, the reason why I keep winning when others don't is, besides the fact I don't follow rules, I'm not looking at my competition. I look at my customer. The reason I knew that I needed to open up my daily meeting and let people steal from me, I didn't ask a book for that. That's not in no book. That's not on a YouTube video. There's nobody doing it. Name me a company that said, hey, let's have a meeting, and then like a real business meeting. There's no marketing gimmick here. You're not being sold. At no point in any of these meetings have I sold y'all anything, and I am a salesperson. I'm always thinking about selling. Always. I came out my mother's womb and sold the doctor some new gloves. That's facts. That really happened. I did that. Okay? That happened. You can't tell me a different. I write my story. That happened. I'm telling you what happened. There's no sales here. There's no sales. There's no marketing. There's no, all right, there's nothing. This is just that. But I didn't read a book for that. No one told me that. Gary Vee didn't tell me that. Grant Cardone didn't tell me that. I listened to my customers. That being said, before I get to the third thing, I skipped to the fourth thing. Skip the third thing, just in case the third thing stops me from bringing this up. Facebook Live, right? That's how you're, post-production or pre-production. Facebook Live, you're doing videos. What rules are we following? Are we following, what if Facebook Live didn't exist? How would you get that content out? This is what I'm saying. There are no rules. This is what I don't want us doing. I don't want us using platforms and not knowing those platforms have set certain rules and parameters that we're following and don't even know. Think about that for a second. When you use Zoom, it's not that you're trying to follow the rules of Zoom. Zoom set those rules. And now Zoom accidentally becomes the middleman. I'm saying something extremely deep. With these platforms, these everythings, they're the middleman. Now the good thing is we use Zoom to go directly to the customer. We use Facebook Live to go directly to the customer. And we've bypassed everything, went directly to the customer to the point where we get customers for free. We're killing it. 98% of our customers are free. We don't even pay for them. We're killing it. That 2% of rules, I don't like it. I believe it's the difference between number 10,000 company in the world to number 1 company in the world. What can we do? What can we? Should we invent our own mobile live TV and build a community around it? I don't know. We don't need to. No sense in spending those resources if not. But at least I came up with the idea. Now, here's a great exercise for you. I'm going to ask you the question. You don't have to give me the answer, Reggie. You don't have to give me the answer, Grace. I just want you to be asking yourself this question from now on. Okay? The question is very simple. This is how you simplify the nerd talk that I just gave. Reggie's going to ask himself before he does a live video, before he produces content, what are the people on my timeline saying? No, not mine, as in Reggie. Like, Reggie's going to say, what are the people on Reggie's timeline saying? Pay attention to what I'm saying. What are the people on Grace? So Grace is going to say, man, okay, I need to do a math video. But have you, because you're dominating these math videos, but have you gone and looked at the homeschooling parents and then the parents who happen to have to teach their kids at school, because that's two different things. I mean, teach their kids at home. They're not really homeschooling, because as soon as dang on schools open back up, they're pushing them right on out. There's a big difference. There's a huge difference. I'm trying to be respectable to homeschooling parents. Some of y'all, I think I saw somebody say it's disaster school. That makes sense. Makes sense. That makes sense. I didn't make it up. I saw somebody say that. Disaster schooling. Have you looked and gathered enough disastering information? And is that driving your content, or your passions driving your content? And that's the point I'm making. Is your creativity driving your content, or are you letting your customers drive your content and putting your creativity around what your customers are screaming about on their timelines and then being creative about that? Both of these will work. One of these will work exceedingly and abundantly. You get it? So we got these fancy phones, and we got these fancy cameras, but the way I want y'all to simplify that is ask yourself, so Reggie, before you do a video today, look at your timeline. I'm not telling you not to do the videos you already got in your mind, Grace. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, in addition to, look at your timeline, because Reggie, they are telling you how to sell your book to them. They're telling you. Every post, they tell it to you. I'm not just talking about ATS. I'm talking about your stuff too. I'm talking about your brands too, right? Your brands, your products. Law, you finna release a book, Law. Now, fortunately for you, Deanna and I have already looked at your customer and did this. We're going to go back and review. You get what I'm saying? But we're not releasing the book because you want it released. We're releasing the book because they want it released. Difference. Big difference. They're screaming for mental health and success tips. That's them. And we want to go target them. Does that make sense to you? I'm going to try to simplify it even more, but I'm really just repeating myself. Everybody listening to me, my staff or not, ask yourself, are you looking at your social media timelines and then producing content from what's on your timeline? Or are you just producing, well, I don't say just, or are you producing content because you got a great idea? Nothing wrong with that. Michael, ideas are crap. Everybody has them. Mayuri, everybody has ideas. Everybody. And the greatest procrastinators on planet Earth are full of ideas. That's why they procrastinate. And the thing worse than having ideas is having more than one idea and you can't decide on which idea to do. I'm saying, new rule, now that no one suffers alone, now that you stayed in the plane, what are the customers saying? Go develop that. It was perfect that Law asked that question. Why the change? Because 17 million people lost their jobs. That's why the change. Get what I'm saying, Grace? All right, so you don't have to answer that question, Reggie or Grace, specifically timeline. Just put that in your head. They're telling you how to reach them. They're telling you how to reach them. They're telling you, I like your funny. I love your sense of humor. Do you mind helping me get along with my stepdad while you're being humorous? They're telling you on your timeline right now, I've got a blended family, and I need help with this blended family issue because now we all at home. And it's getting a little difficult because I made a mistake, because I didn't make this youngin' call my boyfriend's stepdad. Now that we're all at home, he acting like they fishing buddies. I'm not making this up. I'm looking at my timeline. That's a bit too accurate for me to be making this up. I'm looking at my timeline, right? You got a lot of blended families in the same house right now. And they are on social media telling you what they want. TikTok was already exploded. It is amazing. I'm looking at my timeline, looking at two types of people. The people saying, I'm tired of TikTok videos, and then the people like Law that hit TikTok naturally. Naturally. Just went in there, got 38 likes. Just boom. For no reason. Put on a dinosaur. You understand what I'm saying? Just boom. That's me. I'm Law. Sat back, did a workout in a rocking chair. You understand? Ask your timeline. I'm talking about way past polling your audience. I'm saying they're telling you how to get this done. Thank you. You just answered a question for me in appreciation. Good stuff. Good stuff, Carol. Carol just said I answered the question for her. They're telling you how to sell credit. Go ahead, Deanna. Oh, okay. She's clapping. They're telling you how to do your nonprofit. They're telling you how to do keynotes. They're telling you, then they would think you're a genius. Yes, they would absolutely think you're a genius because everyone wants to be heard and everyone wants their itch scratched. Go ahead, Michelle.
So when you say looking at our timeline, are you meaning not polling? Are you meaning just look at what people are saying?
Yes, I mean all that. The thing I'm stressing right now is not just polling. I'm stressing because we already poll. Like I'm not saying take away from. I'm saying in addition to what I want you to do is I want you to snoop on your customers because they giving you the opportunity to snoop because they posted. I'll show it to you live right here in action. I'll share my Facebook page. This is my Facebook page. Let me just put out this disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen. If you are going to follow me or something, go to my fan page. I do not. I repeat, I do not use my personal page. I do not post on it. It is very rare that I post on my personal page. Black people are 10 times more likely than white people to die from fire violence. In 24 hours, you read this here, boom, boom, boom. All right, political. Now, that's Beto O'Rourke. No problem. I'll keep that in my mind. Let's see if more people on my timeline are talking about that. If not, I'm not producing it. This is all the stuff that I've got set to see first. So now, this is someone timeline. 10 years sober. Shoot. Now, I got enough evidence to know that we talking about sobriety in one or two ways. Shout out to Reggie, who's 1 year sober. Shout out to Reggie. Yes. I'm telling you right now that on my timeline, I see two things. I see sobriety, or after quarantine, we all going to need to go to Weight Watchers and AA. How many of y'all have seen a post like that? We're going to need to lose this weight, and we're going to need to go to Alcohol Anonymous. All right. So maybe I should talk about something sober-related, alcohol-related, or something. Go down my timeline. John Nowinski. On this day, I will face each new chapter of my life. All right, then. Now, if I got a bunch of this on my timeline, guess what I'm going to do, Michael? It's real simple. You don't even have to figure this. Like, don't even be creative. I'm going to do a 2-minute video, 10-minute video that says how to face each new chapter of your life. Just like that. Just like that. Then I can even be slick about it and inbox John and say, hey, man, your post inspired me. Your post inspired me. And I wanted to, your post inspired me. So I wanted to let you know. I could do that secretly, or I could be right out front with it. Hey, everybody, thank you very much for joining me. This post today, this content is inspired by John Nowinski. Thank you very much. I saw something that you posted and I was inspired to do this video. Today, I want to talk about how to conquer each new chapter of your life. And then I do that thing, and then I tag John Nowinski in it. And how much do you think that John Nowinski is going to share my video? Because I said he gave me the idea for it. Let me stop sharing my screen. Somebody pay attention to me. You do know we all got egos, right? I know. All you humble folk, you got egos too. You know what I'm saying? All right. How you doing? This post is inspired by law. The moment I do that is the exact moment this man gonna say, hey, look, y'all, look at me inspiring, And right there, I just got a whole new audience. All no rules. Don't mind me, just stealing water, just put in the vault. That's it. That's it, Chris. Steal it all, man. Steal it till we buy downtown buildings together, high rises. Steal it, man. Y'all get that? That's what you do. I promise you, I did not write my keynote for the summit Saturday until Saturday morning. I promise you, I did not. It had nothing to do with procrastination. It had nothing to do with procrastination. I'm going to tell you what I was saying in my head, and I'm going to get to my agenda number 3. This is what I was saying in my head. All right, well, I talked about recession money. Man, y'all listen to me. I really, really, really want to do some law of attraction and stuff because, golly, I want to pay attention. I want to show that I'm more than that. That sound like something you would have said, Grace? Now, scholars, we make up a word. And where my degrees are, we make up words and they become real words. It's one word like Christocentric. That's not really a word. It just means Christ-centered, right? Now, what would that have? What keynote? I want to show that I am more of, or there's many layers. That's Antonio-centric. You know what I'm saying? Reggie says, come see about me. That's right. That's why he does that, because everything puts it back on his audience. I don't want to make my keynote central on me. You get it? Because it came from my thought process, my mind. And I kept saying that. But then my timeline, I looked at my timeline all week. And you know what my timeline said all week? I'm hungry. And ain't nobody teaching me how to use what I'm stuck on to get out this situation. No, the timeline said that. Everybody on my timeline was basically saying, I'm tired of just sitting around all day. I want to make money. And I ain't got none. Who's out there teaching me to use, by show of hands, or cut your video on just for a split second, if you know you got what it takes to make a lot of money, you just one shot away. If you just had that one little language, that just that one thing that you needed, you do it on your own. By show of hands, who's that person? Okay, right there. All right. So I got a couple of hands up. Maurice, Michelle, emoji hands, Levon. My whole timeline say that, y'all. My whole timeline say, listen, man, Trump, I appreciate this $1,200, this $2,400. But I don't need no handout. No, I'm going to take it, though. And my whole timeline is saying that I need to know what to do with this so I never be back here again. And that's where that keynote came from. Say, I didn't even know she was alive. I won't mind. I understand, right? I won't mind. I want y'all to think about that for a second. Think about that. It's a new rule. There are no rules. Whatever you're using, that thing you're using is either in the way of your customer, or you're only communicating to your customer through your customer, or to your customer through the platform of their rules. Zoom has rules. You understand? Zoom has rules. And we want to make sure we're out those rules to get directly to our end customer. Now, of course, we do this better than anybody I know. And it's unfair for me to ask y'all to go past 100 to 1,000. But you know I don't care about that at all. Because we're going to get to 1,000, and I'm going to burn the ships until we do. And y'all know that about me. By this time, you know that's exactly what I'm going to do. So ain't no sense in acting like I'm not.
Meyer brand grills up the value you expect with quality you can taste in every bite. Try our new quarter-pound beef franks, cradled in our own hot dog buns and topped with tangy, no sugar-added ketchup or easy-squeeze whipped salad dressing. Top your burger with our convenient burger-shaped Colby cheese slices. And don't forget the sides, like party-sized Ripple potato chips, perfect for scooping, and our own special recipe cool and creamy macaroni salad. Stop into Meyer and discover big taste and bigger savings on Meyer brand.
Burn the ships today. And Carrie just put her hand up, and that's actually great timing, because I was just about to say, before I get to the third thing on my agenda that I'll skip, I would like to take any questions that any of you may have right now. I'm listening. We'll start off with you, Carrie. Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks again, Antonio, for the conference. I was like set on fire. I really enjoyed every piece of it. I couldn't believe I sat there like that all day on that call without taking a break. But that's just how in tune I was. But I was very grateful and appreciative that you did that and gave us that opportunity. And then I had two things I wanted to ask this morning. One has nothing to do with it, but just something for me personally. But the first thing is, when I have like a group of women, it's called my business is Before and Afterthought Life Coaching. But one of my women's empowerment pages called Before and Afterthought Talks. So it has like 200 and some women on there. But then I have the life coaching Facebook page. And then I have my regular Facebook page, which has close to 5,000 people on there. So now that, you're talking about taking the content that, getting our content from the people who are on our timeline, because my main one, everyone posts there. Is that where my business stuff should be going? Like, how should I tie in those three with the content?
Fantastic question. That's a fantastic question. I got two questions to be able to fully answer you in the spirit in which you asked the question. Question number one is, you got multiple pages. Nothing wrong with that at all. Are these different products with different audiences that will not commingle in most cases? Like the difference between like church and vodka? Does that make sense? Like I should probably have two different pages for church and vodka.
The Before and Afterthought Talks is mainly for women because of some of the subjects that are talked about. So it has to be more private so that I can protect people's feedback. As far as the life coaching page is open to everyone, as well as, whoever. I don't post anything too crazy on my main page, but most people are on all three of my sites.
Got you. So that makes sense then. So you're good. You're good to go there. Since you gave me a platform to teach here, she has three pages: personal page, and then there's life coaching, and then the one specifically for just mostly women. That's actually perfect. That's just fine. I have no corrections there. Sometimes you have to separate. If it did need to be separated, then I would link Deanna's case, Reggie's case, and a few others, Chris's case, then become the personal brand so you can put all of it together. this doesn't apply to you, Kiara, but I'm just, you gave me an opportunity. If you do a lot of things, then become a personal brand, and you can put those lot of things in there, like Martha Stewart cooks, and she does home decor as well, right? And all that stuff like that. So good stuff there. So another question there. The second question I had to ask you was, actually, I don't even need to ask the second one because the first one kind of knocked out both of them. Let's address first your personal page. Know that those 5,000 people, while the numbers are there, they don't follow you for business. Now, I'm not saying all 5,000 don't. More than likely, when you got to, you follow Martha. I do. She has a felony. Why would I not follow her? I follow anybody with a felony. I'm from the hood. Yeah, as soon as she got a felony, I became a fan. I am from the hood. That is crazy. You got to see it in the chat. But as soon as you started Facebook here, when did you join Facebook? 2009 with everybody else or before?
Yeah, it was around that time, 2008 or 9.
All right. And did you have those two businesses, I'm gonna call it Woman Talk, the before and after talk, I forget how you said it. Did you have those two businesses then?
No, I was trying to find my boyfriend cheating. I was making fake pages back in 2008.
I know that's right, girl. I ain't mad at you. I know that's right.
My pages are new within the last year.
Oh, that is too funny, boy. Everybody being real today. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So this is a great example for all of you to learn. Her 5,000 friends, they did not look at Tiff. Her 5,000 friends never agreed for them. I was looking for a nicer way to say this, but I need to say it this way for everyone to get this and receive this. They never said, Kiara, lead me out of my situation. That's not what they did. They didn't do that. I'm not saying some of them won't. They said, Kiara, you're lower than me. You're even with me. We go to the same church. I know your mama. We classmates. And these aren't customers. These are social media followers. And don't ever confuse social media followers with potential customers. Is everybody catching that? Now, the good thing, Kiara, is you sifted when you started those pages a year ago. So it gets me every single time. Every time I see people post, I got 5,000 friends, and I want to see who's going to support. They're not going to support you because they didn't sign up to support you. They signed up to either be better than you or because they were obligated, right, to follow you. So that's just what we do. But your two business pages, those people have said, Kiara, lead me, guide me. I was messing with Grace.
All along the way. All right.
All right. There you go. All right. So basically, I want you to look at all three of your pages. But now you got the understanding that two of those are where your customer is going to come from. You can still go poll and, pitch from the 5,000. But go look at all of the pages, especially the 5,000, because the 5,000, because pain is universal, is what I'm saying. And those 5,000 people are going to scream out in pain or bliss, and that's universal too. And they're going to help you communicate better with your two pages. Does that make sense, Scarab?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go. Yeah, I wouldn't don't try to make money from the 5,000. Let the 5,000 help you communicate better with your 500, and you'll make far more money than you ever imagined.
Got it.
I do have a piece of advice for you too that I would love to give to you now. If I were you, I would start a women-specific podcast that is so private. You know that stuff that you started that group for to protect? and that's why you got it, I would start a podcast off that protection and open it up to the public. I would. Whatever taboo things that y'all talk about that are private, I would start a podcast off that because that's a niche immediately. I would do that, and I would let that podcast grow my group, and I would push my group to my podcast, and I'd monetize both of them.
Got it.
Help me, somebody. That's good. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. I've been spring cleaning the house of negative friends for uplifting ones. Trash. I understand. Friends and family are typically not customers, clients, and I wish people would grasp that concept and be okay with it. Yeah, because you got to realize, Kiara is a certain age, and some of her family, just like some of Reggie's family, just like some of Grace's family, just like some of Phil, Susan, and anybody else, the Teach family, Michael, Simone, they all said, I'll always be better than you. And the moment you ascend past their expectations, people get a problem with that. Everybody write this down. People will never buy what they cannot afford. Listen to me. Because we always buy what we can't afford. But I'm going to change those words up. People will never support what they cannot afford. We always buy what we can't afford, Reggie, but we never support what we can't afford. And if I've got a secret problem with Reggie, I'm never going to support what he's doing. I can't afford for him to be better than me. That's why me and Reggie get along. I ain't got a problem with you, you got a problem with me. I would never be, we buy what we can't afford. That's what makes you middle-class Americans, or middle-class period, and in whatever country. But I'll never support what I can't afford. If I can't support your place in my life as better than me, and I'm older than you, I won't support. I will not follow.
Reverend.
I will not. I will not. Go ahead, Kiera.
So since you saying that, and then when my brother said in the chat, it just brings me back to my second question. I had one more question, and I think it's like very prominent for us who are doing business. Like, we're trying to make money, we're trying to think about making money, we're trying to be in this productivity, this cycle, and then we have our jobs if you're still working, or dealing with the emotional aspects if you're not working, and then trying to maintain our basic livelihoods. And one of the things I'm running into right now is my attitude. I have never, I've always been very, very in control of myself, but it's like I'm just highly annoyed at everything right now that goes on, because it's so much in trying to run a business and go back and fix my mistakes, and then I just pull my whole site down to redo it. So I have all these different things going on, and then of course being, working as a life coach and then being a therapist, it comes with all the emotional pieces that drag from you. But I wanted to know from you and anybody else, like, is there any good reads or any good things that you would suggest? Though I make sure I have a cap on that. That's not something I can blow the cap off and let that out. That has to be very, very much under control for me. And I'm not used to being easily annoyed. And I feel like that's where I'm at.
No doubt. A couple of things there. I wouldn't, unless your attitude is costing you peace, I wouldn't change, right? If you are assertive, I would stay that way. And this is terrible advice if we was like in church, fantastic advice for real life. There's an audience for you. Donald Trump has a fantastic audience. They not going nowhere. And my man got an attitude. Okay, so there's Howard Stern. Right? There's that audience for him. It's probably not likely you're going to just change the core you. So I just wouldn't do that. I just flat out wouldn't do that. In fact, I would tell you to double down or 10 times down on who you truly are, and you will find far more success with that. Now, you wasn't really asking that, and you don't strike me as a person that struggles being yourself, but at the same time, I wouldn't say that because you gave me a platform to tell it to someone else that is a people pleaser that's out there. Secondly, to address more of your question, Code of the Extraordinary Mind, that'll get you real good because it's all about rules and how you shouldn't be following them. And then, you know, there's a book out there called Lead Vertically. It's not, no, I know the book. This actually come up in our leadership class too. So Lead Vertically and Integrity. Integrity by Dr. Henry Cloud. Henry Cloud is one of the world's leading psychologists. Tipper said, nope, yeah, that book tabs us up. It's actually the leadership class is definitely coming up. That is the greatest book on character I've ever read in my life. I read it in 2012, and let me tell you, it just ripped all my skin off. It was terrible. Ripped all my skin off. Sure did. So I would do that for sure. So those three books, Code of Extraordinary Mind, Lead Vertically by Craig Johnson. He is the number 2 of Lakewood Church, Pastor Craig Johnson, and then Integrity by Henry Cloud. And Code of Extraordinary Mind is written by Vishen Lakhiani, the CEO of Mind Valley. I recommend those books. Cool with those?
Absolutely. I'm good about all of them right now.
Already. Yeah. Those are my, because answer your question, those are the 3 that I would, so due to my job or due to my military background, I've seen plenty of psychologists. Just know I'm a Army intelligence veteran. We'll just leave it at that. And my psychologist told me something real funny. She's just, I'm this big bulldog walking in there, this trained intelligence killer walking in to this office with this 5'2" white lady that's every bit of 97 pounds, if that, maybe 96 and a half. And she be handling me. That's just too funny. And she said, and tell her you're not going to change. And I said, what you mean? She said, you're not going to change. Human beings don't change what keeps rewarding them. Apparently, you being you keeps making you rich, keeps making you happy, so you're not going to change. And I went, did she just teach me something? And it's the truth. You're not going to change what rewards you until it stops rewarding you. That's when you start changing. Now, some of your reward systems may be messed up. Sometimes pain rewards us, but that's a different story. Chris?
Piggybacking on what you were saying earlier, I can definitely relate to that. I know I probably spoke about it earlier, but I remember how I used to always want to try to change or tend to what everybody else was doing. And then I saw my business decline. And then I said, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to start being me. And who vibes with me is going to vibe with me. Who don't is just going to disconnect. And I'm going to keep on rolling. And ever since then, of course, I face criticism, but you'll be surprised how many people actually inbox me directly saying things like, I'm glad you said that. Thank you for doing that. You never know, but my son's watching you, my daughter's watching you, and all these different things because I started being myself. That makes sense. And while trying to be something I'm not, I didn't get that. But as soon as I switched over, even though people may see the criticism on the outside, but on the inside, they don't see all the other great feedback I'm getting in.
Well, people like authenticity. Kiara in 2009 wasn't trying to find out if her boyfriend was cheating because he was real. He turned fake. And then she started trying to find out. You understand what I'm saying? When he was a real boyfriend, she had no problem. We like real, authentic people. We just do. We like real coffee. We like real bed sheets. We like real bed sheets. How many of you want to sleep under fake bed sheets? How many of you buy one ply toilet paper? Right? You know what I'm saying? Let me go to the office. I want the hand sanitizer that got no alcohol in it. Huh? Give me the Band-Aid that don't stick. No. We like authentic things. Authenticity wins, because at the end of the day, every last one of us, from a human being perspective, we're all craving to be our authentic selves. And we're always looking for someone that can at least be that, because it inspires us to do that. And if you're already authentic, then you don't even know how to, like Reggie just don't even know how to get with someone that's fake. Like, look at his face. He can't even. I just watched him deal with another leader. And he just, oh my God. He just, I thought he was going to lose his sobriety. All right, one more thing. I had plenty, but I'll save it. I want to bring up, let's see, I want everyone customer. I actually touched everything. I didn't miss a single thing. I want to bring up this last thing. If you just went over time, so if you got to check out, you're more than welcome. This thing is going to really upset you. I did not do this, okay? This isn't me doing this. On the screen, you should, besides this big old ad, Jesus, on this, besides this big old ad in my way, get off my screen. There you go. Now, you see dailymail.com, right? Americans should brace. Let's look at the date first. It's Monday, April 13th. This article was written on the 12th. If you're right here, do me a favor, y'all. When you go on, before you share something on your social media, if you want to find out if it's authentic, look at the date. It kind of helps. It's not the only key, but it helps. It helps if you look at the date. That's why I always show you the date before I say something. This is yesterday. Easter for some of you, and Lucy's birthday for others. Okay, this is yesterday. Now, Americans should brace for, highlight that. I'm going to blow it up. You should embrace 18 months of shutdowns as the U.S. economy faces long, hard road to recovery. Now, I'm going to need you to recognize who said this. The Federal Reserve President. That's a big deal. The Federal Reserve, the central bank president, is warning for the man who controls the money. America, he's the president of the entity that America and any other place where the central bank is getting their money from. No doubt, Mr. Private Message Sender. No doubt. And I want you to know that's a credible source. Am I telling you that's going to happen? No. Am I telling you it's a credible source? Yes. You can't let the Federal Reserve President say something and not protect yourself against it. And the reason I'm bringing this up, team, we got to deal with that. That shifts the plan a little bit, don't it? We need to, forget, listen, this is why I say it's going to upset the pro. You get your politics, well, I ain't got to tell it to my team, I'm telling it to y'all. You get your politics out of this. We need to, we as ATS, we need to plan for 18 months of displacement. Reggie, I want you to come up with 18 months of ideas and everything for how you're going to push your book, push your brand, push our brand, do content. And if you think anything less than 18 months, the other president, that's an inside joke between me and Reggie, he said 18 months. You understand? Grace, 18 months. If the direction for your math, if the direction for the sales calls, if the direction for your part of ATS is not saying 18 months of shutdowns, total shutdown, private shutdown, kind of lockdown, kind of shutdown, some form of it, 18 months. This is business, y'all. You do not have a right to have an opinion over this. Because this is what it's saying. This is why I said the whole call is new rule, there are no rules. Customer first only. I need you to get that if 18 months that this is actually true, that's 18 months your customer will suffer. And we need to be the savior for the suffering customer for the next 18 months. You can let everybody else, y'all hear me? You hear me, Grace? You can let everybody else have an opinion. We got solutions. It's 18 months, yo. Now, if you done already got laid off, pop unemployment, that's sure enough gonna upset you. Should. I'm sharing it on my screen just to upset you some more. That's yesterday. You saw in the chat, Temper said, "My governor's trying to reopen." They gotta. It's election year. You can't roll into election year. You can't roll into November with all your voter base not having jobs and you in control of the presidency, the White House, the presidency, the Congress, and the Senate. Right? You can't roll into election year like that. So that's why you hear the rush of open up and up and up, right? Just leave it alone. But I'm just saying, business perspective, all of you, Chris, where's Chris? He's still here. Chris, if you stand up for me, bro, I'm telling you, you need to come up with a 24-month plan. He said 18, you do 24 months. You need a 24-month plan.
Or longer.
Or longer. So this just basically told me that I'm going to keep 25% of the business university free for at least 24 months. So what was a temporary fix, I may be keeping these daily meetings open for 24 months. Because everybody listening to me, thank you very much for being here and following. I appreciate that. But it's about to get real if that happens. Now, am I telling you it's going to happen? I'm going to say, yeah. Do I think it's going to happen? No matter what I think. I'm just saying I'm prepared for it to happen. So if it don't happen, I just look like I was crazy and right? But if it do happen, I was ready. I'd rather look crazy and be ready than to look confident and get caught slipping and be out of business in 24 months. All those people that, I got so much to say. All those people that told y'all, that's 18 months, y'all. Let me just say it again. This is too real. I saw this. This is what changed my meat. Well, it didn't change it. This made me fix it. This made me fix it. This is why I stress we need to get rid of the middleman, Grace. We already did. This is what made me say, this headline, if you only listen to this audible, says America should brace itself for 18 months of shutdowns, and that's plural, shutdowns. That's a loaded word. That's saying they're gonna invent how to shut down. They're gonna have like industry shutdowns. They're gonna say something like, we open, but just for essential. How many of y'all businesses are essential? What if your business is all about seeds and planting seeds? And what if you literally sell tomato seeds? All right, let's break that down. Everybody pay attention to me. If you listen to this in audio, I'm typing right now, and I'm going to type Michigan governor. Can't spell governor. Governor bans sale of seeds. You just type that in Google. And right here, 21 hours ago, the residents of Michigan can't go plant their own gardens and prepare. What's the date on that, Grace? I mean, somebody tell me the date on that.
April 12th.
Another yesterday article. Michigan Governor Whitmer bans residents from buying seeds or plants and gatherings of any size.
Wait. I gotta speak up now. Say what?
That's happening. Go ahead, man.
Man, all I can say is that's ridiculous. But also, if it really, I mean, that just hits another huge industry too. We're talking about like groceries, farmers, and all that much more. It's basically another way to wipe out competition too, because people,
no doubt,
trying to survive.
No doubt, it's what's going to happen is it's going to leave businesses. It's going to increase the wealth gap. When this is over, we will recover. That's going to happen. That's systolic, diastolic, right? Up, down, heartbeat, peaks, valleys, left, right, up, down, A, B, select, start. It was perfect, Grace. I had no choice, right? It's perfect. And when you think about it now, we will recover. But for right now, your current customers, Michael, are going through this, Maurice. Lorraine, they going through it. And if you keep having a middleman, you're not going to be able to reach them. You're not. If you keep following rules, stop. Don't follow rules. The very rules that you've been following, they are shutting those rules down literally. They are inventing new rules and then saying we live in unprecedented times. What does that mean? What does that mean? That's like saying my mama died, God worked in mysterious ways. What does that mean? I don't get it because I'm mad. She's dead. This is one of those statements. Oh, it's unprecedented time. Yeah, it's a time in which you have to make up all these rules, and I'm not going to benefit from them. You are living in a time, ladies and gentlemen. Darren, three things happen. Write these down for me in this order. Four things happen. I want all of you to write this down. 4 things happen since 2016 that y'all should be paying attention to. 5 things happen. I'm thinking of a 5th one. Thing number 1, you got billion-dollar companies that never recorded a profit. Write that down. Thing number 2, they told Simone, be nice. Don't be a bully. Be respectable. They told Susan, be nice. Don't be a bully. Be respectable. They told Tempest, be nice. Don't be a bully. Be respectable. And the way to get voted president now is to do the exact opposite of that. That's not just happening in America. We're literally doing the exact opposite. To get into politics, you got to be mean. The rules they taught you that, and then went outside of that to make more money than you. It's the second thing you should learn. The third thing you should learn, and this is all 2020 stuff. It's all this year. The wealth gap is just getting wider. And the middle class was the money. The wealth gap is getting larger, and the middle class was the money. Which leads to the fourth thing. You got broke billionaires. We now live, I cannot believe this is coming out of my mouth. You live in a time in which billionaires are broke. They don't even sound, what? But the reason billionaires are broke is because number 3, the middle class ain't got no jobs. This is in every country. And the last thing you should have learned, and I'm going to end this call after I make this too real statement. This is too real. It's as nice as possible. Before I make it, I'm going to frame your thinking. But remember, we don't like socialism, but, hey, let's put out a $2 trillion stimulus. Let's frame your thinking. Here's the fifth thing. Fifth thing is very simple. Our essential jobs are being held by people we say are non-essential. That may be the greatest lesson I've learned in 2020 so far. Our essential jobs are being held by people that the government, all governments, are saying are non-essential. I'll read this comment and then I will break that down. This explains why all those, never mind. That was a private comment. Yes. Yes, private person who said that, yes. Glad I didn't keep reading. Glad I saw that read. Guess who is running out of food? The world. Guess who we say are non-essential, get them out of our country? The people who pick up the food. It was all good before a pandemic happened. And now the very people we wanted out are the very people who are essential, but they're not essential. So what does all this mean for your business? Go right to your customer. Those non-essential, essential people, they're screaming on your timeline. Go right to them. Go right to them. Go right to them. Those motivational speakers that don't have a platform no more, I told all those motivational speakers, I told every last one of them that if you go stage to stage, that's just check from check. I told every last one of them, don't worry about your book, create a program around the book. I told every last one of them, build a community. Now, every last one of them got no program and no community. You a speaker that can't speak nowhere. Come on now. Y'all don't get caught up like that. They were following rules. Go find your own community and go establish it. If you go find your glasses. I actually got my backup glasses. I just haven't put them on. If I found my backup glasses, I just haven't put them on. If you want to know where to start, if you're only on Facebook, that's vulnerable. LinkedIn has a lot of organic reach right now. MeWe is 100% organic reach. So if you don't have money for advertising, you might want to start posting on LinkedIn and MeWe. Chris, last question on you. Go ahead, brother.
I'm just soaking up on his energy. It's not even a question. It's like a statement that hit my head, but I feel like I need to say to everybody else. It's basically me feeling is like either create your own rules to set yourself to have freedom or be controlled by those who do control the rules and laws of this nation or world.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. That is poetically, perfectly said. The rules are written by winners to control your poverty condition, to uphold your poverty condition. Y'all, I either been crazy or this world has never been kind to a genius while that genius was living. Never. I'll let you choose. Didn't like Einstein when he was alive. Didn't like Dr. King when he was marching. Didn't like Steve Jobs. We are not kind to geniuses when they're living. It is only when they're on stamps do we like them. This has been coming. So allow me to tap into my genius and end and tell y'all this right now. The internet is going to make you rich if you go directly to your customer. Directly to your customer. Not around, directly. Directly to your customer. You don't need a marketing budget going directly to your customer. You don't need a gimmick, hook story pitch. You go get you enough customers, you'll make enough money to learn how to hook story pitch. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plan better. You can dominate. Thank you, everybody. I will see you later. Love you more, Phil. And let's go out there and go get everything you deserve. All right, everybody.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With the powerful combination of Michelin X1 tires and the Michelin Energy Guard aerodynamic solution on your truck, you can save 17 gallons every 1,000 miles. Go to business.michelinman.com/fuel saver for details.